Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me for another beer review. Christmas Day. Hope you all have a great day today. Happy Christmas to everyone. Now, at the date of me recording this, it's actually the 11th of December, and I've just literally sorted out day 12 of the Advent calendar, or about an hour ago. I've just popped on to PJT, Rate My Beers Live, and I've had a pint of the beer that I'm actually going to review now, which you will see in the thumbnail and everything. You'll know what it is. So we're heading off over to the Perfect Draft, and it's a reasonably new keg that has just been released on Perfect Draft. It's from St Austell Brewery out of Cornwall, and this is their Proper Job. And this one is coming in at 4.5% ABV. Now, anyone that knows about Proper Job knows that in bottles and cans, it's 5.5%. I was slightly shocked when I picked this up, or shocked to hear that it was only 4.5%, but apparently keg and cask it has always been 4.5%, so it is going to be a slightly different beer. Now, the standard price of this beer, I think, is £38.90. The time I got it, I bought the keg pack, so 70 quid plus 2 Proper Job glasses. Not long after that, I think about a week after that, they actually done like this Black Friday sale when I actually purchased it. So I never got it for that price, but I think it was coming in at about £31 then. And obviously you're going to get your discounts, you're going to get money you earn on the orders. Do I think it's overpriced? Well, they do shaft you a little bit in a sense that you can buy like the bottles for like something like 2 quid, which are 5.5%. So this being 4.5%, I do feel a little bit cheated. Is the beer going to be any better? Is it going to be any worse? It's going to be different for definite. It's got to be different. And at some point I will do a comparison with the bottle, because I've got 3 of these. At the time of doing the order, obviously I'd bought the 2 and I'd ordered a speckled hen. I never got a speckled hen, but I got an extra Proper Job. So at some point with them other 2 kegs that I've got, even maybe on this video, not on this video, but with this keg, I may well go out and buy a bottle and do a comparison. So I'm going to stop talking. Like I said, I got the keg pack, 70 quid for 2 kegs and 2 glasses. The Proper Job glass is there. I hope this is good. I've not watched any reviews at this moment in time, so I'm not sure. All I know is one person out there wasn't very keen on it, but I haven't listened to anything. So I'm going to stop talking. Hopefully it's going to be good. That's all I'm going to say. I won't do a video with the pour. I won't bore you with that, but I will pause the video, do the pour. I've had 1 pint of this already while I was watching Paul John Tame, not PG Tips, although I often call him PG Tips on Rate My Beer. Do the pour, come back, and we'll start cracking on with it, and I'll give you a little bit more info then. With the bloody... Right, we are back. So this keg, I put it in. I've set the PD Pro, because that's what I'm running off, at the recommended temperature on the app, which says 6 degrees. So that is what we're serving this beer at. I've only had 1 pint out of it, which, like I said, is what I had before, and that poured pretty decent too. But this is the second one out of it, and look at that. That is a great... I don't want to say it's a great pour because of me. Probably is slightly because of me, but I think it's a great pour because the beer is just spot on, I would say. So looking at it in a glass, I won't do the comparison shit yet. I'm just going to take this beer for what it is at the moment. So it's sort of like an amber in colour. There are gentle bubbles going up the glass, which I can see. And we had about a 2-finger head. It has gone down slightly, but it does look quite thick and creamy. So yeah, it looks what you'd expect. And I'm bound to say something about the bigger ABV one, but I'm going to try and be focused on this one. So yeah, let's try and give it a swirl and get a nose on it. But I'm a big fan of the original Proper Job. Okay, definitely smells different. That said, I remember having Proper Job years ago at 5.5%, and I've had it more recently at 5.5%, and I do think it's changed, but that could be just because of the amount of different beers I've had, and how things that seem really good a few years ago aren't so good now, maybe. But on the aroma, definitely feels less hoppy. The notes in there are very much lighter. There is a nice malty aroma as well. I mean, they don't smell bad. It really don't. But I think there's a difference. But taking this beer, say I'm having this for the first time at a 4.5% beer, it smells like a good traditional IPA. Obviously at 4.5% it's going down them lines of more of a session IPA. So I'm going to stop talking. St Austell Proper Job IPA, which is more like half a job because it's only 4.5%, but I can't help myself, can I? Proper Job, 4.5% from St Austell Brewery, perfect draft, 6 degrees. Let's dive in, give her a taste. Cheers. Yeah, honestly don't think that's bad. That's not bad. I really don't think that's bad. First impressions, taking that mouthful then, and obviously the PD is going to give you a nice draft head, and I think a decent head on a beer is always going to make that feel much fuller, if you like. And this has a good body, I think, for 4.5%. This has a good weighty body to it, a nice full body. And the carbonation is nice in there. It's not too much. You do feel it a little bit, but you sort of expect so much, don't you? There's got to be carbonation in a beer or it's going to feel dead. But yeah, the carbonation's not massive in there. You do feel it. It doesn't overtake the body, in my opinion. It still has a pretty smooth sort of mouthfeel. And it goes down nicely. And for that reason, I can't knock it. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. I'm going to do that when I get the bottle. You knew I was going to do it. You knew I was going to do it, and I nearly went for it. So let's get some tasting notes. The taste for me, hoppy. I think you get a little bit of grapefruit in there, lime. The maltness in the beer, I think, is running along in the background on that initial taste. Obviously, once them sort of hoppy, zesty sort of flavours disappear, the maltness comes to the forefront a bit more. Full of bitterness. I was having a good taste then and seeing if there was a sweetness coming from the malt. And it's not a malty sweetness that you get from this beer. It's quite bitter. There's a lot of bitterness in there. And I would say that maybe shows how good this beer is. To be 4.5% and still be full of flavour, still picking up that quite big bitterness in the beer, along with the grapefruit notes. I think, yeah, you can't knock it. You can't knock it. 4.5%. It's got a lot of flavour still. It's got a decent body. It feels hopped as well. And that for me, I mean, it's so easy with some of these sort of session beers that there's nothing about it. It doesn't even feel like some beers have any hops in at all. With the flavour, I mean, you sort of get flavour, but it sort of feels artificial because you're not getting that hoppiness. This is doing, for me, in my opinion, this is doing the job it should be doing. I'm still not going to call it the proper job. I'm still going to call it the half a job because it's only 4.5%. But it's doing a decent job. I think it's drinking above 4.5 in my view, with the body and the flavours in there. but there's no sign of that alcohol. I think it's pretty decent. That said, I'm not sitting here with a 5.5% bottle, but just drinking it, taking it for what it is as a 4.5% IPA, that's a decent drop. Yeah, it's traditional, what you expect, with a craft side to it, being nicely heavily hopped and getting them fruity notes and what have you. The maltiness is not taking over, but it's there, but it hasn't got that sweetness. It's still keeping it quite bitter. I like it. I like it. I think it's a decent drop of beer. I remember a few years ago having it at Scott Reviews things at his wedding, and I don't think it was quite the same there. It's still a decent drop, but I don't think it was quite the same then as when I'd had it previous to that. So maybe the beer is changing even at the 5.5% one, but I think that's decent stuff. Do I think it's worth getting on PD at the price? At the moment, the way the price of beer is going, yeah, I do think it is, because what you are getting is a decent drop. You are getting that draft experience. Now, is the draft adding to the body? I would imagine if you got this in bottle, you would have that wateriness, maybe on the back end. You're not getting that from this. So, yeah, if you think what it would be like in bottle at 4.5%, you are getting the draft experience, and in my opinion, that is kind of worth it. Obviously, on the other hand, you got the 5.5% proper job that you can get for £1.80, £2, something like that, or four for £6. However it works out, I don't know. But yeah, for now, this beer is decent. I think it's, I don't want to say it's worth the money, but it is. What you're not feeling robbed by buying this at the price it is, because you are getting a quality beer. Is it going to be as good as the bottled one? I don't know. That we'll have to wait and see. I will be doing a comparison, but for me, yeah, proper job from St Austell on the Perfect Draft is a good beer. It's a good solid beer without sort of amazing you. Bearing in mind, I drink an awful lot of beer. Same with other reviewers out there. They're trying all sorts of different stuff. It's easy to knock something like this, but I think this is doing a very good job for your sort of standard beer drinker, without trying to sound insulting to anyone. I think nobody's going to be disappointed with that. So yeah, decent drop from St Austell on the Perfect Draft. Proper job. Gets a big thumbs up from me. Look out for the comparison, and then we'll get more of an idea of how good it is. But for me, standalone, great beer. If you've had it before, let me know your thoughts on it. I've waffled on for 13 minutes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon on another one. Cheers.